Welcome to the videos for how to work with PowerPoint. So all of my students have the option of either choosing to do their presentation slides in Google Slides or in Microsoft PowerPoint. So these are the videos that cover how to do this in PowerPoint. So first let's go ahead and go find the instructions for the lab. So we go to Modules, scroll down to week 11, and here are the PowerPoint Slides Lab. Now, just like here in Google, they have a Slides Lab as well. There is also a list of videos. The videos that I'm currently filming will eventually be down here. So that's where you'll find them in Canvas. So let's go ahead and get that opened. And this is where they're located. Now, you can download them by clicking on Download PowerPoint Slides Lab PDF. You just click on that. And you'll see down here it pops up. You can either open it by clicking on the title, or you can click on the arrow and say open or show in folder. That will most likely be your download folder that was saved to. So let's go ahead and do that, show in folder. And you can see that for me, here's my downloads folder, and here is the PowerPoint Slides Lab. Now, it's not generally a good idea to keep things in your computer in the downloads folder because that's a good folder to delete things when you start to run out of space on your hard drive. So usually what I like to do is go ahead and open it. I just double clicked on it. And then you can do a file, save as. It's currently in downloads. I don't want it to be in downloads. I'm going to choose a different folder, so I'm going to left click on that button. And that brings up this Save As PDF. It's just a window of locations on your computer. And here I am in my documents. I'm going to save it in MSJC, Intro to Business Communications, which is where I keep things. And I'm just going to save it at this level because I actually, since I wrote it, already have it saved somewhere. So it will just wind up being down underneath all these folders. So I'm going to hit save. Alright, so that's now open. I'm going to just scroll all the way up to the top by left clicking and dragging this bar up to the top. And now we can see the Slides Lab. Now really quickly what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my view. I'm going to zoom to fit width so it's much bigger for the video. Alright, so this is the way this presentation lab is set up. You've got the title at the top, you have a table of contents that tells you exactly what page each of the items in this lab are on. If you ever forget how it is that you did something, you can come over here and look at it and say, oh, okay, so to add a shape to my slide, I go to page 6. Or to add a drop shadow, I go to page 9. And then you can just look down through the lab. Now the way this is set up is there's a step number, and as we go through these videos I'm going to say what step we're on. The instructions are in this column, so this is what you're going to do. And you'll notice that I have a lot of pictures with red squares. Usually if you see a red rectangle or a red square, that means that you're supposed to click on that. Everything that is in bold is usually also something you need to click on. So you don't have to read every single word. So for my students who are ESL, you don't have to read everything to be able to use these labs. This column is for the expected results or any special notes. So if you click on View and then Slide Master, this is what's going to happen when you do this. So you click on View and Slide Master, the Slide Master view is going to open. And then I describe what that Slide Master is going to look like. Then in this next step, you're going to click here. I didn't even have to read the words to know that you're going to click on this particular slide. I give more information about what you're doing because it's important that you click on the correct one and not one of the ones down here. So I provide images of what it will look like on your computer. I tell you what to click on. And again, I provide you descriptions, what just happened when you clicked on it, or any special information. All of the main headers about what you're going to be doing are right here in green, and then the step numbers continue. So this is how this particular lab is set up. Again, lots of pictures. Every time there's a red box, it's something that I have you clicking on. All right, so that's how this lab is structured. Now let's go back up to here. And before we get started with all the steps, I want to point out these important notes. A lot of times people ignore things like this, but the tools that I'm describing in important notes are incredibly helpful. They are sort of like superpowers in PowerPoint and in any Microsoft product. So the first one is the undo arrow, and then repeat typing, also sometimes known as redo. So even though Microsoft officially calls it repeat typing, it's really the redo as opposed to the undo. And let me show you how those work. So if you're typing and you accidentally delete something and you're like, oh no, it's gone, then you can just come up here to the very top of your document and you can hit this undo button. Now, if you do want it gone, you can then hit that redo and it's gone again. But we want to have that there. So you can just go back and forth. So if you do some formatting changes, you can test what they look like by doing undo, redo, until you decide which way you liked it. All right, so now let's go back to the lab. And now I'm going to teach you how to use the format painter. It looks like this paintbrush. It's on the toolbar, and a lot of people don't know what it's for, and it is incredibly useful. So let's go ahead and pull up the presentation again. And let's say we are working on our title slide. So we're going to highlight it. And the way I highlight is left click and hold that button down, drag your mouse across, and then let go of that button. Now you'll notice in Microsoft that when you do that, this window will pop up. If you move your mouse, it goes away. This is just a quick shortcut that shows you some of the basic formatting tools you can do. Microsoft put them here just because it knows that if you've highlighted something, you were probably about to do some sort of a formatting change. So they give you that ability right where you let go of your mouse. You can either do it here or you can come up and do it here. It's the same exact thing. It's just that Microsoft gives you that ability to do it immediately where you are instead of wasting the time of moving your mouse up to the top. Either way is perfectly fine. So in my instructions in this lab, I didn't specifically talk about this in the written lab, but it's a really great feature that Microsoft gives you. Microsoft usually gives you many different ways to do the same things. So as you start to explore Microsoft products, you may discover that there are ways that I haven't taught you that you find easier, and it's perfectly okay to do that. It's just too much time and effort for me to try and write down every single possibility. So I just focus on one way to teach you how to do something, even though there may be lots of ways to do it. So what I'm going to do here is so it's already bold. Let's make it red. Let's underline it. There are a few other things I'd like to do that are not on that tool. So let's do a shadow. I think that's enough, but you can see that we've just done about 4 different things to this. And now I'm going to click down here and I'm just going to type something else. Let's see. All right. Now if I want this format to be on this line as well, and you can see there's a font size difference. This font size is 60. This font size is 24. This is red, it is shadowed, it is bold, it is underlined. This is not. So there would be a whole bunch of things that we would have to do. So what you can do is you can click inside this line, or you can highlight it. Either way works. But you click inside the thing that you like, the formatting you like. Then you come up, so this is the second step, you click on the format painter. It's almost like dipping your paintbrush into the formatting you like. Then you come down to the second line, and this time you can't just click inside the line, you do have to actually highlight all of the text that you want to change. So I'm going to left click and hold to the left of my line, drag it across, And then when I let go of my button, all of the formatting from this comes down here. You can do this with the formatting of bullets. You can do this with all kinds of different text formats. It's an incredibly useful tool, and you don't have to wonder whether you have forgotten one of the pieces of formatting that you did. So anytime you do something where you've done a lot of changes, it's really easy to just come up, click inside, hit Format Painter, highlight what you want to change, and then the thing that you have highlighted the second time receives the same formatting that you did up here. So a really great time saver. All right, so what you'll be doing next in the next video is opening PowerPoint and seeing how to find that on your computer.